Hello everyone, I am Sneha Adhikary from second year ECE department. My university roll number is 34900323049. So I am going to present my PPT about elements of communication system. So here's the first slide of my PPT. It's about introduction. So now I'm going to discuss about what's the communication system. Communication may be defined as the transfer of information from one place to another via a sequence of procedures, or it can be defined as the communication of information itself. For communication to be effective, both the sender and the receiver must communicate in the same language. Every living organism on the planet is confronted with the need to continually transmit and receive information from others in the surrounding environment. Throughout the history, we can know that human beings have made an ongoing effort to increase the quality of communication with other human beings. From prehistoric to contemporary times, the methods and languages used in communication have continued to evolve and satisfy the increasing demands in terms of complexity and the speed of information transmission. It's the second slide, which is represent the basic communication system block diagram. So it's about yeah. So here the source. First of all, it's need a source, which is the information sender. Now the input message goes to the transmitter through the input transducer, and after that it's sent to the receiver through the channel, and it's this signal is called received signal, and this electrical signal is going to the output transducer, and then it goes to the destination, and it's called output message. This output message last of all goes to the destination, which is information receiver. So this is the basic communication system block diagram. Now it's about basic elements of communication system. First of all, the transmitter. What's the transmitter? Transmitter is the electronic component that converts the digital signal from the encoder into an analog signal that can travel through the wire and be heard by the receiver. The transmitter is sometimes referred to as the modulator. The range or distance that the signal can travel through the wire is limited by the audio properties of the wire. The transmitter also adds additional information to the signal, such as channelization codes to allow the receiver to identify which channel it is receiving correctly. And its example devices are microphones, cameras, radio transmitters, cell towers, and the loudspeaker. Here's the diagram of transmitter. It's like audio signal which is going through the preamplifier. Then it's going to a AM modulator, and then through a RF oscillator. With the RF oscillator, it's going to a power amplifier, and then it's reach the antenna. So after that, um, we are going to know about the transmission channel. So a transmission channel is the medium or path through which a message travels from the sender to the receiver in a communication process. It can be physical, like wired, or non-physical, like wireless, and determines how effectively the message is delivered. Now, here are some examples like differences, like wired guided channels. These channels use physical connections to transmit signals. Then it's twisted pair cable. used in telephone and land networks. Now it's coaxial cable used in cable TV and internet connections. Fiber optic cable transmits data using light, providing high speed and security. And its examples are telephone network, radio broadcasting, television broadcasting. And here we can see picture of the twisted pair cable and the coaxial cable constructions. So twisted pair cable has some parts like outer jacket, and then overall shield, pair shield, twisted pair, then color coded plastic insulation, and it's like STB connector. And then here is a cable construction: outer jacket, conduction shield, center conductor, and then dielectric, like that. After that, it's about noise. What's the noise? Noise is any unwanted interference or distortion that disrupts the transmission, reception, or understanding of a message in communication. It can occur at any stage of the communication process and can affect the clarity, accuracy, and effectiveness of the message. And here's the types of noise in communication. So what's the types? There are some types like physical noise, which is external noise. It's distractions from the environment that interfere with communication. Like examples are loud traffic or construction noise during a phone call. And number two is psychological noise, which is mental distraction, like internal thoughts, emotions, or biases that affect how a message is interpreted. And the example is a person daydreaming during a lecture and missing important points. And the number three is semantic noise, which is language barriers and misunderstanding, like confusion caused by ambiguous words, jargon, and or misinterpretation of meaning. Like examples like using technical terms that the audience does not understand, like that. Then it's about receiver. A receiver is the person, device, or system that receives and interprets a message in the communication process. So a receiver can be a person, a device, or a system actually. And the effectiveness of communication depends on how well the receiver understands the transmitted message. So receivers also has some types. The types are: number one is human receiver, which is a person who listens, reads, or watches to understand a message, like a student listening to a lecture or a customer reading an email, like that. And number two is mechanical receiver, a device that receives and processes signals, like radio or TV receiver picks up signals and from a broadcast station, like that. Like mobile phone, which is receives calls and messages, and computer, which receives and processes data from the internet, like that. And the number three is biological receiver, which is some living organisms act as receivers is non-verbal communication, like a dog responding to a whistle, like that. Okay, now it's the destination. The destination is the final point in the communication process where the message is received, understood, and interpreted. It refers to the person, group, or system that the message is intended for. The destination can be an individual, an audience, or even a device that processes the information. It means The destination can be an individual, an audience, it's like a group, or even a device also. So the role of the destination in communication. What's the role? So here's the point. Receives the message. The destination is the end point where the message arrives, and then it decodes and interprets. The receiver understands the processes the message based on their knowledge, context, and perception. And the destination has also some types like human destination. The message is received and interpreted by a person or a group, like that. And second is mechanical or digital destination. It's like the message is received and processed by a system or a device. So now it's the conclusion. Effective communication is a dynamic process that involves several key elements working together to ensure that a message is successfully transmitted, received, and understood. Each component, information source, transmitter, transmission channel, receiver, destination, and noise, plays a crucial role in shaping how communication occurs. The information source generates the message, the transmitter converts the message into signal suitable for transmission. The transmission channel carries the signal from sender to receiver. The receiver decodes and processes the message. And then the destination is the final target where the message is interpreted and responded to. Noise can interfere with communication, reducing clarity and effectiveness. For communication to be successful, the message must be clear and the channel must be. So we have to confirm it that the message is clear and the channel also. Then we can get a successful communication. Appropriate and noise should be minimized. Whether the in personal, professional, or digital settings, understanding these elements helps improve communication effectiveness, leading to better connections and outcomes. Thank you.